powerful. Yeah. He's so vicious. Like his one-punch power at 135 is like nobody else's in the division. Like the way he starches people is crazy.
Yeah, exactly.
He gets so much torque and power into his punches, and he's so fast that he covers ground and his uppercuts, they're just devastating.
Yeah, for sure. I think I can stop him. I'm much quicker than him. He's much stronger, much bigger, but we just gotta wait and see until we get in there and test the waters.
Joe Rogan appeared genuinely stunned when Gervonta "Tank" Davis entered the press conference ahead of his exhibition bout with Jake Paul. Instead of the lean, compact physique fans have come to recognize, Davis showed up looking noticeably bigger, his frame packed with more muscle and definition than anyone anticipated. Even Rogan, who's seen countless elite athletes in peak condition, couldn't hide his amazement. His reaction was one you only witness when someone surpasses even the highest expectations.
I'm a giant Gervonta fan.
Yeah.
I mean, that guy's so unusual.
Yeah.
His style's so unusual, and his patience.
The Leo Santa Cruz fight was really something for me. Leo Santa Cruz is a technician, Mexican style, and the fight was very close before Tank stopped him. But he has that power.
He finds these openings, he sees them, but he doesn't go after them right away. He waits for the right time. He's so patient. Like when you watch the early rounds of his fights, he probably has the lowest punch count in the early rounds. But he also knows he's got that nuclear option that if he can crack you, most likely he's going to take you out. He's got massive confidence.
During the face-off that followed, Gervonta Davis appeared to intentionally downplay his physical transformation. Instead of flexing or adopting an intimidating stance, he maintained a calm, almost casual posture, often crossing his arms or subtly angling his body to obscure parts of his frame. It seemed like a deliberate move to shift attention away from his noticeably bigger build or at least keep speculation in check. Still, even with the guarded positioning, the change in his physique was unmistakable. Joe Rogan, meanwhile, offered a blunt assessment of Jake Paul's approach, suggesting that his moves are driven more by promotion than pure competition. Rogan explained that these matchups are carefully crafted to spark curiosity, attract casual fans, and generate viral buzz rather than to test genuine boxing skill. The betting chatter and the surrounding spectacle, he noted, serve as tools for attention rather than sport. In Rogan's view, Jake Paul understands the entertainment business perfectly, using boxing as a stage to keep his name in constant circulation, even when the fights themselves defy traditional logic.
That was Jake Paul promoting it. You know, just like,
but
doesn't bother me.
There's compromising the sport, and that's like bad. It's just like
if I bet on it,
watching
it
it
fuck
is
out.
hard. Watching it with people who are so in on it, and then also the sports betting apps, they introduced like chat apps in them in Australia, so it's like they're trying to take the place of social media companies where you go together and you meet for like betting should be exciting enough without having a weird.
They're just trying to draw you in. They're just trying to make money, right? So they're trying to draw you in any way they can.
Yeah.
Gervonta "Tank" Davis is a reigning lightweight champion, usually competing at around 135 pounds, while Jake Paul has been operating near the cruiserweight range in his previous fights. For their upcoming clash, however, both sides agreed to a stunning catchweight of 195 pounds, a massive leap for Davis and a detail that caught many fans off guard. The number was only finalized after considerable negotiation and speculation, adding yet another layer of intrigue to an already unconventional matchup.
We were yelling so much about him fight somebody your size. His next opponent is, by far, the most credentialed guy ever fought actively in his prime. There's one problem. He fights at 135 pounds. He fights at 135 pounds.
Because of the drastic weight difference, the rules for this exhibition are far from standard. Both fighters will wear 12-ounce gloves, noticeably heavier than the ones Davis typically uses in his division. The adjustment was made to prioritize safety and level the playing field slightly, though it further underscores how unusual this matchup truly is.
Jake Paul versus Tank fight is getting really weird. Gervonta looks scared for his life because the rules are out. They're crazy. Oh, so everyone thought that the fight was at 190. It said it's at 195, and this weight difference is scaring the life out of little Tank.
Over 10 3-minute rounds.
Next dispute comes with gloves. Little Tank is used to fighting in 8-ounce gloves. Baby glove. This fight will be in 12. Hands might be too small. Oh, so Tank just fought in a 12 3-minute round fight against Roach. Yes. And now he's fighting in 10 3-minute rounds, which isn't too bad. Well done, Jake. Exhibition though, can he win? Yes, he can actually win. It will be overlooked by 3 sanctioned judges. So he can actually still win and knock him out. But here's the trick. Body punches only. And there's a reason. Because Tank said, look, this is a bit unfair. I don't want to punch up. I want to punch at my head height. Where does it fall? At Jake Paul's belly. Ooh. So apparently we've heard there's no knockdown rules, but aside from that, it's a pretty well-rounded fight. Oh yeah, and there's some drug testing involved. But Jake Paul for the win.
Davis' longtime trainer, Calvin Ford, has voiced concern over the change, noting that while heavier gloves can help reduce the impact of punches, they also alter the rhythm and feel of a fight. According to Ford, the added weight affects not only the speed and precision of punches, but also the way a boxer positions their hands and builds their defense. In his view, even small equipment changes can disrupt a fighter's natural flow, especially for someone moving up several weight classes.
My only concern is, you know, the gloves. You understand what I'm saying? Because we don't fight in 12-ounce gloves. We don't use 12-ounce gloves. That's training gloves. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, it's 2 pounds away from Jake. He fights in 10. Tank fighting 8, so he losing 4 ounces. So my thing is, I said, they put Tank at 8, put him in 10s. That makes the fight more interesting. You know what I'm saying? And we'll go from there because I understand. And I brought that question up to one of his hounds. They was, no, we don't want to do no mixed match. It's supposed to be this. What? You know, now y'all want the wins and the loss. You know what I'm saying? All these prescriptions, you want to be great. Being great is really pushing the envelope. You know what I'm saying? You know, Tank don't really care, you know. So when I brought this up, he said, dang, facts. You know what I'm saying? So, again, you know, he can weigh the 10s and we weigh the 8s. Then we got to fight.
Teddy Atlas weighed in on the face-off between Jake Paul and Gervonta Tank Davis, emphasizing the glaring size disparity between the two. Atlas joked that Davis looked so undersized next to Jake that he'd need a ladder just to reach his chin. While he acknowledged that variations in skill and style are part of what makes boxing compelling, Atlas made it clear that this particular matchup stretches those boundaries. In his view, the sheer size gap isn't just noticeable, it's excessive, raising real questions about the fight's competitiveness and purpose.
Right? They should also have like the size of the ring, the size of the glove, all that stuff particular should be in the contract. But I would probably look for one thing that is not the common thing to have in a contract if I'm Tank. A ladder. A ladder. Can I get a ladder? Somebody? You know what I mean? Hey, look. Okay, if he hits him on the chin the way he can punch, Jake might be doing a dance. You know what I mean? Not voluntarily either. But we'll get into that more later. The thing that I'm talking about right here is what you said. It was stark. The size difference was really, you couldn't ignore it. We understand the talent difference, the experience difference. We understand all of that. But the size, the pure, and we understand small guys can beat big guys. We just saw Crawford do it to Canelo, but you know, a little different. The size difference was, I mean, it was eye-catching, jaw-dropping, and it made me think. And I'm gonna ask Richie, our man here who's doing all the taping, who does such a marvelous job. I'm gonna ask him because I know he's an expert in this area. But it reminded me of one of the Rocky movies where they had the face, where they did the wrestling thing with Rocky and Hulk Hogan, a.k.a. Thunderlips. He was Thunderlips back there. And I thought I had it right, and it was confirmed to me. It's Rocky 3.
Atlas compared the situation to Canelo Alvarez moving up to fight Terence Crawford, but clarified that Crawford was never that undersized to begin with. Gervonta Tank Davis, on the other hand, is giving up a significant amount of natural size and reach. So much so that, according to Atlas, he'll struggle just to get within range of Jake Paul's chin. This, he said, makes the fight look mismatched right from the outset. Across the boxing world, fans, analysts, and journalists have echoed similar concerns about the fairness and safety of such a drastic size gap. Yet, the controversy runs deeper than Davis himself. Critics are questioning how the event is being marketed, whether it upholds boxing standards for fighter safety, and what kind of precedent it might set for future exhibition or celebrity-style bouts.
Jake Paul, I think when he weighed in for Mike Tyson, was 227 pounds. That is, if I'm not mistaken, a 92-pound weight difference. It's insane. That is called one thing. That's called being a bully.
Dana White hasn't held back his skepticism about the upcoming Jake Paul versus Gervonta Tank Davis matchup. He criticized Paul for cherry-picking opponents, arguing that he should be fighting boxers closer to his own size rather than smaller stars from lighter divisions. White even drew a comparison between Davis and Floyd Mayweather, acknowledging that while Tank hits harder than Floyd ever did, the sheer size difference makes this fight problematic. According to White, Paul could easily use his weight and reach to smother Davis, limiting his explosiveness and nullifying his power. He summed up his stance bluntly, "You guys need to fight people your own size."
Tank is one of the most interesting fighters to watch because he's so different. His style is so different. You know, he's so economical. Like, he puts pressure on guys without throwing too many punches, and then starts to figure holes out. And the way he can explode and move in with one shot, my God.
Yeah, he's very explosive. He's very explosive. He be cracking them. Hey, he be putting him to sleep.
Just cracking people. And he has so much confidence in his power. So much confidence in his power.
So he just, in his mind, he know it's a matter of time before I catch you.
Yeah.
And that's the thing with Tank, you know, these fighters, you got to be aware 15 rounds. I know you're going 12, but you got to think you're going 3 more because one slip, one mistake, and it's over.
Yeah.
You know, so hats off to Tank, you know, he's a great, talented fighter. But again, he haven't faced the top elite fighters in his division.
Right.
You know, so we want to see Tank against, you know, somebody his size, you know, at the elite level.
Yeah.
And I believe he'll do good because, you know, he got the skills, the power, he got the ring IQ to do good, but we haven't seen that.
Yeah, he's also wild. He's a wild fella, so he's fun to watch. You know, he's just a crazy dude, you know.
Yeah. Coming from Baltimore, man. I think
Yeah.
that's just his upbringing as well.
Yes, for sure. He's just so unique in his approach. Like, you know, he doesn't fight like anybody else.
Yeah.
Over the years, Joe Rogan has consistently shown deep respect for Gervonta "Tank" Davis, admiring both his skill set and his ascent through boxing's ranks. After Davis' knockout victory over Rolando Romero, Rogan praised him as a rising superstar, a rare blend of explosive power and refined technique capable of delivering highlight reel finishes every time he steps into the ring. Following Davis' bout with Ryan Garcia, Rogan doubled down on that praise, describing Davis' presence in the ring as terrifying. He noted that while Tank often starts cautiously, his calm demeanor masks a constant sense of danger. At any moment, Rogan said, Davis can flip the switch and end a fight instantly, making him one of the most quietly menacing figures in modern boxing.
Go band for band on what you making. Again, there's nothing wrong with Tank going to get his money, but let's all be clear that that's all the fight is for Tank. He's telling you without telling you that he's fighting Jake just because he's getting $40 million. So when we talk about boxing being dead, Tank has to line up at the front of the line. I can't blame him, but don't throw around, oh, boxing's dead and people switch sides and all of that. You chose not to be great. That's it. You chose not to be great. Stuff like that, choices like that will kill boxing. For sure. On a competitive level, it won't kill it on a business level. On a business level, until people run out of interest in these kind of matchups, it'll do well. On a competitive level, choosing not to fight the best will kill the sport. Maybe it's better if people like Tank aren't in the sport. And I don't even say that because I want that to be the case. I think Tank is ridiculously talented, but you can't want a fighter to fight more than what they want to. You can't. Tank fans or Tank people that like Tank and think he's one of the best, you can't want it for him. And then Shakur came back with, that's how I know you soft. Can't even go back and forth with your soft ass. You rather pop to me on social media than get in that fire and get embarrassed. I get it. Peace and blessings upon you, cuz. He says, the people got your chest out so bad. You talking like you a killer, forgetting that you the one that runs, bitch. I'll be bring the fight to you. This dude, a made-up character. Quote, blessings upon you. Clown-ass dude, wanna be... Oh my goodness. I mean, here's the thing though. You can't say that stuff about Shakur if you're not willing to fight him. This is the point I think that we're going to come to today, is that Tank can say all this stuff he wants, but if you're not willing to fight Shakur, then none of it means anything anymore. Even if you believe that Tank is going to knock him out, even if you believe that Shakur's a runner, or that he's not in the trenches, or he's not a boxer that's willing to bring the fight, or whatever, none of it matters. You're talking from the sideline because you won't fight.